Hey everybody, before we get started with today's episode, I have a quick announcement to make. So Thanksgiving is almost here, and as a way of giving my thanks to you, I wanted to offer you something pretty awesome. So I'm going to give 3 people the opportunity to work with me in December, and you are going to tell me what you want to pay for it. So choose what you pay. That's what we're doing. So for the month of December, 3 people will have the chance to work with me, and you choose what you pay. So here's one thing that I want to tell you though. The focus in December, I don't want to put it on massive weight loss, massive calorie cuts, massive fat loss efforts, because this is the holiday season and most people want to enjoy the holiday season. So I don't want to do a restricted diet with you. You can eat your cookies, you can have your wine if you want to, you can have these things, but the focus in December is going to be taking this month and building strength and speeding up your metabolism, also eating as healthy as we can without being restrictive, as I mentioned. So we want to have a good balance with our food, and we want to lift weights, we want to get strong and speed up our metabolism. So that way, when we get to the end of the month, you're not going to feel like, oh, I'm so gross, I have to start everything over. January 1st comes and you're going to be like 95% of people who are like, I have to start over, I feel really terrible. I don't want this for you. That's why I'm offering this option, this opportunity to work with me in the month of December. So the focus is going to be speeding up your metabolism, getting strong, and eating good food. And that includes some of your favorite treats or whatever the things are that you want to eat. So if you want to work with me one-on-one and you want to choose what you pay for it, here is your opportunity. So if you want to apply, make sure to find the application link. This is in the description of this video if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening, you can go to my Instagram, you can go to my Facebook, you can go to my Fit and Fuel Facebook group. You can find the link to the application in all of these places. So applications close the day after Thanksgiving, so that is the 25th. It is Friday, so this is when the applications close, and I will email the 3 winners on Monday. All right, on to the show. Hey everybody, this is Kirsten here, back with the new episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. All right, so today we're going to talk about one big reason why your workouts may not be giving you the results that you want to get. Of course, this is a big topic and there can be so many reasons, and I have done plenty of episodes talking about this before. So I want to go over just the few things, the most common ones, real quick without really stopping there for too long, and then address this one big thing that is going to be the main topic for today, the main reason why you're not getting results. So some of the reasons that I see very commonly are things like not lifting heavy enough weights. You probably already knew that. So if you never challenge yourself, if you never try to progressively overload, then you're very likely not getting results. I have somebody in my Facebook group who tells me that because of your group, because I am here, I am now squatting with, let's say, 70-pound kettlebell, I think she said. Previously, it was always 35 or something like that. So she's a member of my Fit and Fuel Facebook group. Please join that if you're not a member yet. And she has really pushed her weights and is telling me that she's getting better results from that. So lifting heavier is one thing. Another problem that I often see is that there's just not enough rest periods. You probably already have heard me talk about it. People like to just breeze through their workouts real quick and maybe give themselves 15 seconds between the exercises, and this is not the good way to do it. Honestly, what determines a good strength training workout is the break, right? How long are you resting in between? Then some other reasons are if you are doing a different workout every day. Sometimes newer people ask me, what workouts am I going to do tomorrow? And my answer is, well, the same things that you did last week. Or if they ask me, what workouts are we going to do next week? Then I say the same ones that you did last week. Because if you want to get good results, you want to keep the same workout routine for 4 weeks or so, maximum 8 weeks, and then you want to change it, but you don't want to change every single workout. And of course, another reason, a very, very common one, is just doing random workouts, picking something from YouTube or something that you saw on Instagram, a cool, cute looking, very fit young girl was doing, and you want to do what she's doing because she looks awesome. And that's how you pick like random things and do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, without true focus and without true program. So these are the most common things that I see and I have talked about a lot. But what I'm going to talk about today is this. If you are always choosing the exercise that you are comfortable with, you're going to get stuck. Okay, so you have to get outside of your comfort zone and include the exercises that you don't want to do. And this is one reason why people, when they do their own workouts, they program their own workouts. Well, most of them don't even program anything. They just go to the gym and do what feels good. And this, honestly, is a big problem, because what we tend to do is to avoid discomfort. Right? So we want to do the same things that feel good for our body. We know that our form is good. We know that we've done this many times, and we're good at it. It feels good, but does it actually challenge you? And this is why it's a really, really good idea to have somebody else program workouts for you, because that way you're going to avoid this comfort zone, right? So let me give you an example. I never like doing chin-ups and pull-ups. I don't like them because they are weak. Like, my chin-ups, pull-ups are weak. It's nothing that I'm like, oh, I just did a lot, or I'm like really good at that and they come easy to me. No, they're super, super hard for me. And the other exercise that I do not like is barbell back squat. I don't like doing it. But because I have somebody else program for me, I do these things. And this is the reason why I'm seeing results. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. So now I've been working on my chin-ups because my program says that I have to, and I have definitely made progress. So the other day I was at the gym and I actually did more more chin-ups than I have ever done before. And that would not have happened had I not practiced them. And that makes so much sense, right? And if you want to build a strong back, develop some nice back muscles and biceps too, then chin-ups are really a must. They're one of the best exercises. They're really technical. They're really hard. And that's why I don't like them. They're so hard. And the same thing when it comes to barbell back squat. So I do them, but I don't enjoy them. So I enjoy other forms of squats a lot more, but I still do them when my program tells me to. And if we now want to avoid this discomfort of these exercises that we're not good at, then we're just going to pick some alternatives, or we're going to skip that muscle group altogether because we don't feel comfortable with it. So for example, somebody might say barbell back squat is so hard. I'm never going to do this. So I'm only going to do leg press. Okay, but you're missing out. You are missing out if you're only going to do leg press. You're not challenging your body the same way. Or if you're choosing just like a kind of like find ways around that, yeah, you can of course get a little bit of results, but sometimes the results are exactly in this place that you are avoiding, right? So that's why it is important to do that, and not only rely on the stuff that you are good at. Of course, it's really cool to get even better at the things that you are already good at. If you really enjoy overhead press and you keep overhead pressing and you enjoy that truly, of course, you're going to make really, really great progress. But sometimes if you don't do the exercise that you should be doing, that's the thing that is actually holding you back. So I really encourage you to take a critical look at the things that you are avoiding and start doing them. And that's why I say that it's really good idea to have somebody else, a trainer or coach program for you. And if you want to get another program, if you want to get a good program that will give you results and will get you outside of your comfort zone, definitely check out my program Train to Build, because there are exercises in there. There's a variety of exercises, and of course there are some that you're not going to like, but because the program says so, I'm pretty sure that you're going to do them. Of course, if you have an injury or some kind of reason why you cannot temporarily do something, then sure, it's fine to find workarounds. I absolutely understand that. But eventually you still want to figure out why you're getting hurt when you're doing this exercise and what do we have to fix. Also, another case, for example, I have somebody right now who is just very new to the gym that I'm working with, and she finds it's really difficult to learn these new techniques and new things, and fairly new to exercise. And then we substituted some harder exercise for something lighter. But this is a progress, right? So this is a journey. We still eventually we are going to get to these harder exercises too, because we cannot avoid them altogether forever. We want to get there. So really see what are the things that you are maybe really loving and doing all the time. Maybe it's time to do less of that and then focus on the things that you're actually avoiding. Now, the other thing, speaking about getting out of your comfort zone, is your rep ranges, right? Everybody has a comfortable rep range that they love the most. those who have a lot of like group fitness backgrounds, they tend to love the 15 plus rep range because they're like, I get my heart pumping and I get my sweat going and I feel so accomplished. I want to do that all the time. I personally, I freaking hate that. Like 15 reps, it's really hard for me. But again, because my program tells me that I have to do this and I didn't write that program for myself, I am doing this. And this is really important because we have to challenge different ways. We have to challenge ourselves in different ways, and there are different kinds of strength. So this would be more like strength endurance, right? So that I can, go on my hikes and go to a salsa class that I also love. If I have strength endurance, that will definitely help with that. Again, if it was up to me, I would only do 5 to 8 repetitions. That's what I enjoy the most. And that's what I would do all the time. Years ago, before I learned about proper strength training and I did just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I would always do 10 reps. Everything with 10 reps. No changes ever, right? But then you get stuck there. You have to challenge yourself. So if you do different rep ranges, also the weights that you are lifting are changing. For example, if you do 15 repetitions, of course, you're going to use lighter weights. You should at least, compared to if you're only doing 3 reps. And you might be wondering, why would I ever do 3 reps? Because if you want to get really strong, you want to really target that pure raw strength. You want to get really strong, then you have to do sometimes 3 or 5 repetitions. Occasionally, I don't put this in my programs, but occasionally, if certain programs even have just 1 rep. You do literally 1 rep, and that's all, right? We're not talking about small exercises like triceps extension or something like that. But for deadlift, yeah, it's totally a workout. Do a very, very low number of reps. And again, back to the same point, if you are always keeping yourself in this exact same rep range, you are going to hit a plateau. And in order for you to get out of it, it's very useful to switch that rep range. And this too shouldn't be random, shouldn't be like all the time and every workout is different. Oh, today I did 15 and tomorrow I do 8 and next day I do 3. Not like that, but it has to be programmed properly. And this is how I have designed my Train to Build too. There are months when you're doing 5 to 8 reps. There are months when you do 10 to 12, months when you do 15 or even more. So it is important that you don't get stuck in this one range that you are feeling comfortable with. So these are some important things to understand. Just to sum it up, it is really getting outside of your comfort zone, doing the things that you don't like and doing the rep ranges that you don't like either. I think it's very beneficial for us to do the uncomfortable things because our life is pretty comfortable, right? When you think about it. So even the exercising itself, it is kind of funny that we have to make our lives uncomfortable in order to be healthy. But this is how it is. This is how it really is. Now, talking about getting out of your comfort zone and pushing yourself more, I also want to talk about the flip side of it. So when do you know that you should maybe cut back? Maybe you have been pushing yourself too much, because this is definitely a possibility too. Okay, so the first case when you have to cut back is when you get sick. Okay, I've heard that recently. People have, emailed me, can I take a break? Can I pause for a second because I feel like total crap? I have fever, I'm in my bed, I can barely move, but I pushed myself through this workout. Now, my question is, what did you accomplish? What did you actually accomplish when you did that? I'm not talking about like, oh, just felt a little tired. I'm talking about you're legit sick. Like, what are you doing? So go home, get dressed, sleep, drink some hot tea, whatever, eat some chicken soup. I don't know, but just don't go and work out because your body needs some energy for healing right now. Why are you pushing yourself so hard? And this is it's like perfectionist mindset where we start trusting the messages around us more than we trust ourselves. And this is not what you want to do. Like, think about it logically. You're sick. Your body is fighting some fever, whatever it's fighting. It needs resources for that. So I would say, don't go back to working out until you feel like human again, right? You don't have to maybe be 100% recovered, but 90% you feel well, then go back. And then also just start again lighter. Don't be surprised if you have to lower your weights a little bit, if you have to cut your 12 reps down to 5. It's going to be all right. Just give yourself a week, maybe even 2 if you've been sick for a little bit longer, to get back to it. But I don't want to see you working out sick because you're just so committed and you refuse to listen to yourself. Okay. Now, the other thing that I've seen is that when people are just so overtrained that they have gotten themselves to the place of like adrenal fatigue or severe fatigue, exhaustion all the time, and they're just trying to fix this with supplements, right? But it's not going to work. So now you might be like, okay, but I'm taking the things and I'm following the things in my protocol. Why am I not getting better? If you're not taking a little break and if you're not going to stop yourself from pushing so hard, then you're not going to get results. You're basically just throwing your money out the window with all these expensive supplements. And maybe you're working with somebody who is prescribing you these supplements that cost money too. So if you're just like wasting your money like that, and then you're surprised, like, why am I not feeling better? Why I'm not getting better energy? Then you're just pushing yourself too much, and you need to rest more. You just can't keep doing it. One more thing I would say is that if you are always sore, you never recovered, then this is one of the signs too that you have to take it a little bit easier. You're probably just full of inflammation, and the reasons are that you're not recovering or you're just forcing too much. So of course, in the first half of the episode, I'm talking about getting out of your comfort zone, but you cannot push yourself to the max all the time, right? But if you do that, you push yourself to the max all the time, you are continuously sore. And what doesn't help is that if you don't eat enough, you're just eating very little, you're avoiding some things like, oh, bread is bad, grains are bad, carbs are bad, fruit is bad. You have all these rules and restrictions in your head. You're not maybe eating before working out, you're not eating after working out, one or the other, or sometimes both if it's a really bad case. And then we're wondering why we're always sore, why we've never recovered, and we're still asking ourselves to push harder. So you have to really understand the difference here. There is a sweet spot, right, between like pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, doing the things that you're not always or like that you like to avoid, still doing them, challenging yourself, but also making sure that you recover, making sure that you don't do stupid things like working out when you're like barely functioning, when you're actually sick. So you have to really think about it logically too, right? And listen to your body. Now, listen to your body can be a little bit difficult advice if you are, people take it differently. They can be like, oh, I just don't feel like it today. I'm kind of feeling lazy and Netflix sounds better. This is not listening to your body. This is like, yeah, you're just lazy. But if you listen to your body and you're truly tired or truly sick, then please take a break and you're going to come back stronger. You got to feel better. Speaking of that, I will also add that I just recently took 9 days off from the gym. And I want to tell you what happened. Well, nothing happened. Well, I took those 9 days off because I was starting to feel really tired, and I was exactly like my body was really, it was fatigued, and I was more sore than usual. And I remember it was Friday 2 weeks ago. I went to the gym. I was going to lift, and I was just like, you know what, this is not going to happen. And at the same time, there was a foam rolling / yoga class in that same gym, and I just went there. I did the class, I did a little bit of foam rolling, which was also fun because I actually used to teach a similar class myself when I was teaching classes in Walnut Creek, California. We did mobility with foam rolling and those trigger balls and all that. And I was like, oh, I haven't done this in such a long time. So it's cool. I'm back. I'm a student now instead of being an instructor. And we did a class. And then after that, I felt tired. I felt tired for a week. I think I had been, several things. I had like a very intense salsa weekend. I was dancing basically 7 hours during the weekend. It was just a lot. And I was like, you know what? I need a little bit more rest. And I took, a total of 9 days off. So what happened when I went back? I went back to my program, the thing that I'm following. I told you somebody else is doing my programming. I went back to my program after the little break, and this is where I actually hit my new chin-up personal best, right? I've never done so many before. So I went back to the gym. I actually found that my energy was a lot better and, got back to it. Nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened. I just want you to understand also that you don't gain a ton of weight from taking a little bit of time off if you are consistent otherwise. So that's super important to understand too. If you're not consistent and you take this time off all the time, then of course it's not going to go so well for you. So you have to be consistent. And if you are consistent most of the time, there's no reason to be afraid of like taking a week off here and there or doing a lighter week. So a little bit of everything in today's episode. So in the first half, we talked about the importance of getting uncomfortable, doing the exercise that you don't want to do, changing up the rep ranges and getting uncomfortable there too, doing the rep ranges that you don't want to do. But on the second half, I also talked about listening to yourself, listening to your body, being honest about it, not being like, I don't feel like it, but actually listen to yourself. Are you sick? Do you really need more rest? Then giving it to yourself, and not freaking out if you have to take a little bit of time off. So this was today's episode. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.